folks, welcome back to Gov Africa. This is Chris once again. Hey folks, welcome back to Gov Africa. This is Chris, and things just keep coming out. What am I talking about? Well, and then there were 6. Lindsay Boylan, Charlotte Bennett, Karen Hinton, Anna Liss, Anna Rook, and an unidentified young woman. 6 now. 6 women have come forward and accused New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo of sexual assault or sexual harassment and inappropriate sexual behavior. It just goes on and on and on. Now, let's point this out right at the beginning. New York's governor is innocent until proven guilty, and his presumption of innocence should prevail. But the number of women coming forward just continues to grow. And are we dealing with a lot of mistaken women or a nasty, lecherous slime ball sitting in the governor's mansion in Albany? I don't know. What I do know is that this story detracts from the real story in New York, and that is the investigation by New York's Attorney General Letitia James into the COVID death nursing home cover-up, a criminal conspiracy by the Cuomo administration to hide the number of people who died as a consequence of his moronic order on the 25th of March 2020 to send COVID-positive patients and those recovering from COVID into New York's nursing homes. And of course, he blamed those deaths on fate, God, Donald Trump, the workers themselves at the nursing homes. Pretty much anything except his idiotic order. Even blaming the CDC because he claims he followed CDC advice on what to do with COVID-positive patients. New York's nursing homes have a population of 90,000. We know from official records that 8,700 people died in nursing homes, and their deaths were attributed to COVID-19 since this crisis broke out in 2020. But New York's Attorney General Letitia James, of course, did an investigation into this situation and found that in the small sampling, 10% of New York's 600 plus nursing homes, they did 62 nursing homes, that the number of deaths that were reported from nursing homes were underreported by as much as 50% in virtually every one of them. Taking that number and extrapolating it out over New York's 660 nursing homes where 90,000 people live, and the expectation is that at least as many as 15,000 elderly New Yorkers living in care died. But we're not talking about that story. We're talking about Andrew Cuomo and his sexual exploits or accusation of sexual exploits. Now, New York's clueless fascist mayor, Bil De Blasio, has come forward in a press conference and also said it is time for Andrew Cuomo to resign. Apparently, there's a number. You have to reach a certain threshold of people accusing you of a crime before New York's governor gets the mayor to turn on him. Yeah. We already have 85 New York Assembly and Senate members who've come forward and demanded that Governor Cuomo resign. But they didn't come forward and demand he resign over the nursing home scandal. No. They have come forward over the Me Too like march, everyone lining up like lemmings to ask for his resignation or demand his resignation over the accusations of sexual misconduct. Not for getting people killed, but for being a lech. Without having been proven to being a lech. But we do know by the own admission of his own governor's office employee, Melissa DeRosa, that in fact the Cuomo administration covered up the number of deaths as a result of their stupid moronic order back in March of 2020 by putting people into nursing homes. They covered it up when the Department of Justice came looking for that information in August of 2020 as part of an ongoing justice investigation into the activities of the mayor or the governors of New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and California, and whether they're complicit or responsible for the deaths of so many elderly Americans. They did cover that up, but no one asked for his resignation over that. Now, of course, we didn't learn about this cover-up until just a few weeks back, but these Senate and Assembly members in New York didn't come forward and demand his resignation over getting New Yorkers killed. The pain of the at least 15,000 New York families suffering from the loss of their loved ones who were entrusted their care and whom they pay a great deal of money for, or their insurers pay in order for them to get this proper care, died unnecessarily and prematurely. We know that, but that doesn't get people to call for resignation. Now, this is what Bil De Blasio had to say. He said, "It is disgusting to me and he can no longer serve as governor. It's as simple as that. Really? Was it not disgusting when Lindsey Boylan came forward, or Charlotte Bennett, or Karen Hinton, Anna Liss, Anna Rook? It took an unidentified young lady, a sixth purported victim, to come forward before you thought it was appropriate for him to resign. And you didn't come forward in March of last year when it was exposed at the end of March that he was ordering people in nursing homes. You had no objection to that. Why were people sent into nursing homes with COVID when the Javits Center was virtually empty of COVID patients? Or the USS Comfort, which President Trump sent to Manhattan, both were virtually empty, devoid of COVID patients. Why did you not call for his resignation then? Or when it was revealed weeks ago that the governor's office covered up the number of fatalities. They hid the numbers from the public. Why did you not call for his resignation then, Bil De Blasio? He further said, the latest report and the fact that we can talk about how many people are bringing forward accusations, that it's not one, it's not two, it's not three, it's not four, it's not five, it's 6 women have come forward. And I'll add to his comment, so far. It's deeply troubling. The specific allegation that the governor called an employee of his, someone he had power over, something I've said repeatedly. This is the problem with this. All but one of these women were people he held authority over their fate, their future, their employment, their prospects. That is a deeply disturbing thing. And I said that when the first woman came forward, if it's in fact true, and the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. But apparently Bil De Blasio has woken up now. Called them to a private place and then sexually assaulted her is absolutely unacceptable. Well, it is. In fact, if it's true, it is unacceptable. I think we've seen so many troubling things that have come out just in a matter of weeks, starting with the fact that thousands of people died in nursing homes, and we still don't have the truth about that, and their families need and deserve the truth. Well, Bil De Blasio, it is a very rare day when you and I agree on something, but we agree on that. And we definitely agree that the families deserve an answer. Of course, they deserved an answer weeks ago. They deserve an answer in August of last year when the Cuomo administration covered up this to hide it from the Department of Justice. They deserved an answer, an explanation on the 25th of March of 2020 when he ordered COVID-positive patients into nursing homes. Are you a moron? Are you stupid? Are you an idiot? Did you not realize that the most vulnerable people with compromised immune systems, the elderly and infirm, were put at grave risk of grievous harm? But you said nothing, Bil De Blasio. Not until a 6th woman came forward. Even though you throw this mumbling mouth excuse out now claiming that the nursing home scandal is part of why you're upset. And we know one thing, that there was a purposeful cover-up and that alone is unacceptable and disqualifying. Well, there you go, folks. Not Chris Wyatt Africa making the claim there's a cover-up, not the Department of Justice making the claim there's a cover-up, not Republicans in the New York Assembly or the Senate making claims of a Cuomo administration cover-up. No, Melissa DeRosa, in her own words, foolishly and surprisingly to her, revealing this in a conversation she thought was private, having it recorded. We've seen it. We've heard it. And now the mayor of New York City, Bil De Blasio, making the claim that Cuomo covered up a purposeful, that we know now one thing, that there was a purposeful cover-up and that alone is unacceptable and disqualifying. That's Bil De Blasio's words, not my words, folks. Wow. Of course, Andrew Cuomo remains unfazed in his arrogance, his unbelievable cheek. So in response to a Times Union report, Cuomo said in a statement, as I said yesterday, I've never done anything like this. The details of this report are gut-wrenching. I'm not going to speak to the specifics of this or any other allegation given the ongoing review, but I am confident in the result of the Attorney General's report. Well, I am confident in one thing. You do have a right to the Fifth Amendment protection not to incriminate yourself. And I'd suggest that you listen to your attorneys and shut your mouth, Andrew Cuomo, before you dig yourself a hole you can't get out of. Whether you did something wrong or not, you probably ought to invoke the Fifth Amendment at this stage. Now, for her part, Deborah Katz, who is an attorney for Charlotte Bennett, one of the accusers, said that this sounds eerily similar. This victim's allegations are eerily similar to what Charlotte Bennett has alleged. Charlotte was summoned to the Capitol on a Saturday, left isolated with the governor, and asked to help him with minor technical issues with his phone. Charlotte reported this behavior and the governor's sexual proposition to his most senior aides. Well, folks, 85 members of the Assembly and the Senate in New York, and now Bil De Blasio, are calling for the resignation of Andrew Cuomo. But he's not going to go anywhere, folks. He'll refuse. He will refuse. It would be shocking to see Cuomo resign. Whatever does happen with Andrew Cuomo and these allegations, whether these women are correct in their assertions, and in fact he has committed some sort of crime, which will need to be investigated in a court of law to decide whether that's true or not, it's definitely true according to Melissa DeRosa, one of his aides, and Bil De Blasio, a staunch leftist Democrat mayor of New York, that Cuomo and his administration participated in an active cover-up of nursing home fatalities related to COVID-19. That alone is deeply disturbing. My question is this, Department of Justice in Washington, D.C. Have you begun an obstruction of justice investigation into the Cuomo administration over their hiding the data and lying to your investigators in August of 2020? Has a grand jury been impaneled to bring charges against anyone in the Cuomo administration over these actions that led to the deaths, the unnecessary deaths of so many people? And even if they aren't culpable of the deaths, then why did they cover it up? Why did they actively seek to hide this information from the Department of Justice if they didn't do anything wrong? Their weak excuse that it was a bad look is even more disturbing. So if anything, it appears that they wanted news to be kept out of the press before the choosing. Well, folks, I don't know what to say about this other than the creepy crawler of Albany, the Grim Reaper of Albany, Governor Andrew Cuomo. His arrogance alone has been disturbing for years. His self-importance and his cheek are off the charts. How many people will call for his resignation before he resigns? His position is he's done nothing wrong, and he's entitled to that position. His other position is that the voters of New York voted him in office. Did they know that you were accused of sexually assaulting and harassing women repeatedly? I doubt they were aware of that, or they probably wouldn't have returned you to office. So my recommendation to Andrew Cuomo is keep your mouth shut, listen to your attorneys, and if you have a day in court, good luck with that. And if you're innocent, then you'll be innocent. If you're guilty, well, we shall see what happens. In the meantime, Bil De Blasio now calling for the resignation of New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo. Here's a little advice for Bil De Blasio. While you're at it, fill out your own resignation. A lot of New Yorkers like to see the backside of you, my friend. Time for you to go is long past. All right, folks, that's it. Thanks a lot for your time, your patronage, and your support. Give us a like, give us a rumble, give us a flame, whatever it takes, whatever platform you see it on. Thanks for your support, and we'll catch you here next time on Chris Wyatt Africa.